Hey everybody, West Coast Johnny, how's it going? I want to show you my new project I'm working on. It's a 1937 Zenith radio. It's called the Model 5R135. It has 7 tubes. Now, this works great, and I'm glad, but it is pretty beat up and cosmetically needs a lot. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try my hand at making this look really nice. I'm just kind of dabbling in the old radios right now. So I'm not a pro or anything, but I do know wood. So we're going to work on this. We're going to replace the screen and the dial, and we're going to clean up the knobs and stuff. So please stick around. I already took the screws that were going through the bottom that are holding the chassis in place. I took them out. I see. Okay. That's where the speaker goes in. Here's the old antenna. There it is. This old screen from 1937 is beautiful, and I probably am going to save the tiny scrap of material that may be good back here or something just for a future project, because I can't just throw that in the garbage. It's almost 100 years old. Now, I did find some speaker cloth from a guy on eBay who does stuff with vintage radios, and it has some gold in it, and it's going to look really nice. So the first thing we got to do to get this off, see these little bolts right there? They're like little bolt heads. They go through the cabinet. And first they were holding the speaker on, but now they're holding on, there's like a fin, like a fiber board right here. So we got to take these little screws off so we could take this off, because this is what's keeping the screen, really nice in place. I don't think this has ever been removed, since it still has the factory staples on it. See that? Never been removed. And it is almost 100 years old. I'm going to pull the staples out. Here it comes. See that? Get to be ever so soft. And that's the old stuff. Well, I got it all taken apart, and I'm just kind of assessing everything. The nice thing is I don't have any chunks out of the wood or any big marks. I have some. Probably one of the worst things is the veneer all the way around on the bottom is pretty much all broken off, chipped off. But the corners are okay. So I'm going to leave the corners, and we're going to replace all this veneer. Now, it doesn't really matter what kind of wood I use. It's going to be the same exact thickness, but because it gets painted like this flat black, it doesn't have to be anything too exotic. Now, see this mahogany? This is walnut, and I could tell someone stained it years ago. The cabinet was a little lighter, and I think someone may have stained it. Unless this is the original finish, I really don't know. So I don't want to sand the finish off. Instead, I'm going to just kind of strip the finish off, and I'm going to go ahead and start on that. Wow, look at all that came off. See that? Beautiful. So I'm going to start off by scraping it all off. And then for the stuff that's in there, we're going to get 4/0 steel wool that is soaked with a little bit of with mineral spirits, and we're just going to start cleaning it that way. Okay, well, after I put the citrus strip on and the plastic and let it stay on overnight, I stripped it all off in the morning and I cleaned it with 4/0 steel wool with mineral spirits. But the problem was it caused this very thin these are just very thin veneers, and it caused the bottom to kind of ripple. So I had to let that dry for a few days so that I could sand that away and then fill this with some stainable filler. So I went ahead, sanded the whole thing down with 220 and then 400. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to make the face and the body two different shades, depending on how good this works. If this doesn't work too good and I have to put a bunch on, then this will be the dark and we'll make this lighter. But if it goes on pretty good, I would honestly love to have this a little bit lighter and have the body darker. So let's just let this dry for a little bit more. I'm going to start masking it off. So what I'm using Mohawk Ultra Classic Toner. It's a dark walnut. So the more you put on, the darker it gets. It's like sprayable stain. Okay, so I'm getting ready to put some spray tone on here, okay? But see where there's light spots? It's like here, 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 here. There's a white spot here, and all the way to here. So the way the toner works, if I was to spray this, it would still be light colored, and I'd have to spray it a bunch of times. But if I do that, I'm going to be building it up really high here. So I cut a piece of paper and I cut out little sections where the stains were so that I can give them several coats and it won't make the background all dark. So see how these fit? Just kind of exposes those little areas. So now I can just give it several coats, then remove that, and then it won't make the background darker. Now I did the opposite, see, and I put paper over them, and now I'm spraying more coats. Okay, those are just on with tape, kind of stuck down to the petroleum jelly, and for some reason it's sticking. So I'm going to keep spraying. And like I said, we did the reverse here, see? So we can keep it going. Okay, I painted the front, or stained it, and I'm pretty happy how it turned out. It could have been a lot worse. I'm really happy with this color. It's kind of dark. It's really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the tape and paper the front off so I could do the sides. Now I'm going to do the sides a little lighter because I just wanted like a two-tone finish. So I went ahead and I gave the outside of the cabinet 4 coats of the dark walnut toner, and I really like it because it's a lot lighter than the inside piece, see? So it gives it a two-tone. Thanks for watching this episode, and stay tuned for part 2 where we put the radio back together and then we can listen to it. All right, everybody. Thank you and have a great day.